everybody, Leanne Holitza here at the Healing Studio in Broomfield, Colorado. I have an exciting new person for our space that I am so grateful to be introducing to you today. And this class that she's bringing, or this experience that she's bringing to the Healing Studio, is a really nice enhancement to all the things we have for self-care. So Aubrey Freestone-Garcia is with us, and we're going to be talking today about her sound healings combined with a cacao ceremony, ritual. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah, an experience.
An experience.
Yeah.
Awesome. So these events are taking place. They are an experience of the sound bath combined with ingesting the cacao, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit more about why we would do that and how come we would do that. But just to get started, tell me a little bit about what first drew you to sound healing and cacao as a pathway for connection and well-being.
Awesome question. So I have been raised by a very artistic family. My dad's a musician. My mom's a visual artist. Super open-minded. I've got magicians in the family and wizards and of all sorts. So I have always been extremely open-minded and curious. And so my undergraduate degree is actually in anthropology. And so the study of cultures and global perspectives. And eventually I was led to art education. And in that whole loop of experience and being super creative and open-minded, I had a really profound sound healing journey where I ended up in a painting. And it was really interesting because I was inside somebody else's mind, somebody else's belief, somebody else's perspective of a whole different world that doesn't even exist on this plane. And I found myself in her, and I know the artist, and I found myself in her painting, and it was the most profound experience I've ever had. And I realized in that moment the connection that we all have to each other, to our ancestors, to wholeness. And so that's what led me on my sound healing, my own personal sound healing journey. I was led to the Sound Healers Academy. I didn't think I was going to become a sound healer. I've been an art teacher for 20 years, and it just sort of happened. So I was also guided to cacao in that same program, and I knew about cacao. I had taken cacao, drank cacao before. I also love chocolate. And so to have this experience, a ritual experience connected to our ancestors, connected to sound, connected to grounding into our own roots, and also creativity and untapping that creative potential just was such a culmination for me. So to be able to offer this to others and share in that creativity, the grounding, the ancestral connection, it just seems like it all is all coming together. So I can't wait to invite others to join in that experience with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you describe resounding echoes as more than sound.
Yeah.
It's the ripple of resonance that lingers. What does echo mean to you personally?
So an echo reverberates, right? An echo is sent out and then it comes back to us. So resounding echoes is what we collectively receive as sound vibrations and then send out as a co-creation of energy. So as a sound healer, I'm not providing everything to the person's experience. It's really a collective. And so that's what that echo is. It's my energy, their energy, all of our energy, right? And it's our collective experience. So everything is energy. Everything resonates as a vibration. And we are a collective source of that energy being intentionally created. So that's what resounding echoes is.
I love it. I love it. Well, you kind of talked already about kind of the creative life that you come from, and you know how you've experienced some of this growth yourself. But I do wonder, you know, how did you decide to weave together cacao and sound, and what does it mean for you personally?
So it actually has to do with the season. I've been really intentional about building sound journeys and cultivating experiences around whatever season we're in, whether it be the moon or astrological, or, this month I'm offering a gratitude experience for anyone who's done a sound journey with me, just as a gift. So I try and make connection with people through that. And so with the holidays coming up and being between two big holidays and people celebrate in all different ways, I felt like offering the experience of cacao will help us to ground and connect within ourselves and connect with each other, and then hopefully be able to take that out and connect into the greater community. And I really think the power of cacao, just like tea, really does build community, and it can connect us as we're drinking cacao together, just like sitting down for a cup of tea or even a beer somewhere, right? We build community through eating and through drinking. And I think the ceremonial aspect of that, especially in the holiday season, can be so profound to just make connections with each other so that we can go out and make connections even broader into the world as we can unite with our family and unite with people who are important to us and in celebration.
So for someone who's never experienced cacao or a sound ceremony, for that matter, first of all, what's the energetic container that you set up? What's the intention as the journey begins, and what could they expect to experience?
So I really think that so I order the cacao that I purchase. They have different farms all over the world, and depending on what type of ceremony or, journey that we're going to cultivate together, I'm really intentional with where that cacao comes from. And because of that, and because of the ancestral connection that cacao can bring, I feel like that's where it starts, right? So being intentional about, taking it into our hands and bringing it into our heart space. And I think opening into our heart space and grounding into that connection. So what we put into our minds and our bodies and our hearts transcends into this collective. And when we listen to what's inside, beyond the surface of our mind, when we connect with our hearts and our ancestral plane too, we begin to open ourselves to a world beyond the surface. And I think that's the most important and profound part of both cacao and sound journeys, is just connecting to our past and future all at once.
Awesome. So just kind of for reassurance for those people might be a little nervous about trying something new or doing something new, can you walk us through when I arrive to your ceremony? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do we do? What's the steps?
Sure. So I think with the cacao, that will be, we'll kind of set that container first, right? So we will circle up, and the cacao will be poured in very small portions too, because as an elixir, it's chocolate, right? And so it can have some energetic components as well. So just a small amount of warm cacao will be poured into a cup, and we'll set the intention, and people can set their own intention. And then also as a collective, set the intention together, just even through our minds, that energy that we create when we breathe. And then I always like to start with breath and connecting to those patterns in our breathing, because sound is frequency, and it resonates on those frequencies in our bodies. So by taking in a liquid, which is really interesting, right? We're inviting this energy of the cacao, and we're inviting this energy into our bodies as a collective. And then once we infuse that with the sound, I think the journey really begins inside. So the cacao will be maybe 20 minutes of breathing and intention setting, and even sharing if people are called to do that. And then we'll lie down, get all cozy, and then allow the sound frequencies to kind of ride on that energy in the collective.
And it's about 90 minutes, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So and you leave grounded, centered, not altered. in a
Exactly. Oh gosh, it's like we buy each other chocolate for Valentine's Day, right? That's a very typical tradition, or for your anniversary. And it's a ceremony, right? We've already established that chocolate holds this sacred place in our hearts, and that's all that cacao is. It's just opening this vessel into our hearts and into our root chakra, grounding us to our ancestors, grounding us into our heart space, and connecting us to that sacred wisdom that we all hold.
Beautiful. So before we kind of give people a point to where they can find more about you, I just want to tell you guys that the Healing Studio is a very open, inclusive space. We pride ourselves on making it safe and making it full of exploration. There is no elitism, or you'd have to belong or have a membership to show up to one of our things. You literally could come for the first time and show up and meet a whole group of new people who just showed up for the first time. So just know we want you here, and we invite you to this experience. And we get really excited when people like Aubrey come and offer their expertise and their gifts so that you guys can have those experiences of self-healing. So Aubrey, could you tell me how people can connect to learn more about your offerings?
Sure. So resoundingechos.com is my website, and I have links to other journeys that I offer there, whether that be personal sessions or group sessions or other experiences out in the local community. I'm also on Instagram, Resounding Echos, as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I look forward to your events, and I look forward to meeting all of you at the Healing Studio. Go be amazing.